everyone, and welcome back to our channel, What the Framework. And this is the third episode of our journey to creating a community driven innovation hub application that helps the organization employee to share their project ideas and let know which project gets the most interested likes. So in this, today we are going to dive into the data building block of our application. And as you remember, in our previous video, we have discussed that the App Engine Studios, every application that we create has four major building blocks. And those are the data, the experience, the logic, and automation and security itself. So if you guys have not checked out that video, I recommend you guys to check out that video. I'll also add the link in the description so that you guys are thorough with the basic before jumping into creating the table. So in this video, what we are going to do is that we are going to create the table. The table is very important because it will store the information about the project ideas submitted by the employee, and it will also track how many other employees are interested in the project idea. So for that purpose, what we are going to do inside the data building block, we are going to click on add a table. And inside that, we have got three different options like importing a spreadsheet, creating a blank table, or create a data integration. For this project, what we're going to do is create a blank table. Click on continue, and we are going to create a new table from scratch rather than extending another table. So just to keep it simple. So create a new table and let's give the table name. So since this project is about the employees submitting their project ideas and innovation ideas and other people seeing that ideas and telling whether they're interested or not to work on it. So that I think the table's name that we will be using to capture all these ideas will be called as project list. And if you notice, the table name is automatically populated once we write the table label. Let's leave this unchecked, make extensible, because I don't think we are going to extend any table out of this in future. Let's give a auto numbering. So this is the this value will get added to the number field, which is auto populated whenever a new record, or in our project term we can say a new project or innovation idea is submitted and it is stored inside our project list table. So it starting number will be 1000, that is the first record will be 1000, followed by the second record as 1001, 1002, and the number of digits will be 7 digits. Awesome. And this, it will be starting with the prefix of pro since it's project list, so I'll go with pro. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's continue. Now what we are being asked is to add the permission to our table. So we, in this thing we can explain in a very simple way, like which employees or which users are allowed to add their ideas, delete their ideas, or read other people's idea from this table. That's a simple way in which we can explain this. So for that purpose, what we are going to do is that we are going to, for admin role, I'll give all, since admin can create, read, write, and delete any project ideas, but user can only create, read, and write. By user I mean employees. So I'll just do continue, and if you see, the table is getting created. And now this dialog box will open a table builder application. As you remember, in the second episode I've discussed about that App Engine Studio provides us with various applications like the table builder, the UI builder for creating workspace and portal. So one of the application which we'll be exploring a bit in this video is table builder for creating the table. So I'll just click on edit table. This opens the table builder. Yep, welcome to table builder. We can just close this dialog box, close this one as well. So as you can see that ServiceNow has created 5 of the default fields for us, or you can say 5 default columns for us, and those columns are the created and the updated, and these two, if you see the created and the updated, these two are more like a date field, you can say. So, and this is updates and created by, I think these tools are one which are used to tell who updated and who created the record. In our case, who created or who updated the project ideas. So, so now we're going to add the custom fields which we require inside the project list table. So inside the project list table, the first one of the most important is that we want to know who submitted this idea. So so we'll create a field called submitted by. So if you see, if I write the column label, the column name is auto populated. It takes the column label and creates an auto populated field. Now we have another option of writing the type, like what type of this, what type this field should be that is submitted by. And I think this, and I don't think, I believe that this should be a reference field. So, and it should point to the user table, which is already there in the service now, so that we can access all the users. So to just check out this list, what I'm going to do is that show you this list. I'm going to type sys underscore dot user in the navigation tab search bar. Click on this, and as you can see, I've got the list of all the users, and there are 624 users working in this organization, you can say. So I'll just choose reference. So reference is a data type because we are going to reference to this table, that is the user table. So reference, and it's asking to reference to the table, and we know which table it is, and that's the user table provides, and it also gives a small description saying that it provides a list of all system users and related departments. So we require exactly that. So we're going to add that. So that's one custom field submitted by. The next custom field what we're going to add is we require the name of the project. So that's going to be name, and that's going to be a simple data type of string. Then we are going to add a new field called description, and that too is going to be a simple data type of string. And then what we're going to do is that we will be requiring a special data type called date format. So date. So this data type we are requiring because we are going to store the estimated start time and the end time for the project. So whenever a user submits a project, he or she will be submitting it with the start date and end date. So that start date and end date will be captured here. So start date, and that's going to be a data type of date, and that's year with this one. So that will be in a format of year, month and day, and the same thing we can repeat for the end date as well. We'll create a label called end date, and the same type, that's a date type, and the same data format, and add it. So that's awesome. And yeah, there will be one more field which will be added in the future. That is the field called interested in. So that field will be keeping a track of how many other users or other employees are interested in the project submitted. So that we'll be creating in the end, because that consists of little more complicated flow designs. It's easy to create the variable, but it's little not complicated, but little tougher to understand the form flow and the form designer process if you don't understand this basic. So we are clearing the basic right now, and then we'll focus on the advanced topic. So yeah, so we have created all the fields that we require. We have got the default fields provided by ServiceNow, and as well as the custom field. So if you want, we can preview the table, like how the table is going to look. See how the user table looks. So we are going to see how the project list table that we have created is going to look. So for that, we'll click on preview, and you can see, wow, we can see right here it looks as equivalent to the way the user table looks, the look and the feel, not the column name. And we have our own column name here. So we have the created by, updated by, and all our custom field from going from submitted by, name, description, start date and end date. Okay, and you guys must have seen right now and caught something that I have written the spelling of description wrong, so let's correct that. So for that, I will close the preview tab, and this is the reason it's very useful. The preview tab is very useful since you can check your mistakes and correct it. So I encourage you to quite often use it and quite often save it. Don't forget to save your changes, because I most of the time forget to do the same. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to description field and going to go to column properties and click on the label, and I'll change the label to description. And inside the column properties, you can see there are many other fields. Since I've opened it, I'll show you guys. Like you can set it to active, like whether this field should be active or deactivated. You can set the maximum length. Now the maximum length should be more, because since it's a description field, it has to be more descriptive about the project. So we'll add a 240 max length, or let's add to like 400, I would say. Then let's add default value. We don't require default value. There's no dependent fields. It's not a choice field, so we don't require a choice options here. So yeah, so I think we are good here with the descriptions. I'll just close this, and as you can see, just to confirm again before we save it, like let's save it and then let's confirm, because we can still make the changes if required. So I'm going to preview it, and if you see now the description is spelling is right and everything is sorted out. So I'll just close the table and preview, sorry, the preview tab, and since the information is saved, since you can see it's disabled, that means it is saved. I'm going to clear the record, not clear, close the tab, and if you can see the new table, that is project list, has been created. And yep, if you want, you can preview this from clicking on the extreme right, or else if you want to edit, delete, you are also, if you want, you can preview from here. If you want to edit, you can click on this option and again edit, and you'll again land up to the table builder which we landed up before while creating those fields. And yeah, and again you know how to edit the field. You can just click on here, click on column properties and edit those fields from here, right here. So guys, that's it. Now, that was about the fundamentals of building a table inside the data building block. And cheers, you have completed, you can say, 1/4 of the entire project. So stay tuned for our next episode where we'll start putting the next block into action. That is the experience block. And we'll start shaping our community innovation up platform that transforms idea into impactful solutions. Now subscribe and join us on this exciting journey to make a difference one innovation at a time. Thank you.